Hello and welcome to another video by Vegan FTA, and today we'll be watching a short film called For Charlie, which is a film by BAFTA-winning director Alex Lockwood. Now this particular film is on the RSPCA, and let's without further ado watch it.
I joined the RSPCA because they were for all species, and other people did the same, but they let animals down all the time.
The RSPCA Assured scheme is so important. When you see that logo, it means that the animal has been reared in an environment that's as natural as possible, so the animal has had the best possible.
We know that when they're saying as natural as possible, these aren't natural environments for them. Sure, they may have a patch of land that they can be on, but they aren't able to naturally roam as they would freely. Parts of their bodies for specific animals are removed so that they can't engage in their natural behaviors. For example, with chickens, they are debeaked, so they can't actually tend to their feathers like they naturally would. So that's a weird comment to make, as natural as possible, when they can't get to what is natural.
Life it can.
Five weeks ago, animal rescuers entered an RSPCA assured farm, and what they found was shocking.
It was indeed. We covered that in a news article. 40 of these farms, you see them across the board. They're RSPCA assured, so they're the best of the best, which isn't a surprise. When you're commodifying animals, you're seeing them as objects, so you will not be treating them with their best interests in mind. So it comes as no surprise that the conditions that they saw were shocking.
Pigs dying in pools of their own excrement, crammed into concrete cells. They came across one pig trying to bury herself in the straw. She was losing condition and had a large growth on her head and obviously needed some assistance. So they managed to get her out and gave her a new chance at life, and they named her Charlie. I think the RSPCA presents itself as high welfare, whereas the reality of what I actually found was the exact opposite. I was finding severe suffering and across the board on an enormous scale. And as a vet who became a vet to help animals, what I found myself doing half the time was just trying to put them out of their misery.
The RSPCA assured farms are intensive farms. Animals are kept confined in large numbers. They're denied natural behaviours, not seeing the light of day until they go to slaughter. Sometimes being lucky enough to be outside, but that's unusual. I always used to imagine the little old lady who came up to me in a supermarket and gave me her last £5 note. What would she think? I think she'd have been horrified.
Charlie! Come on, Charlie, what's this? Come and look at this, Charlie.
Charlie came bounding up to us. She was super inquisitive and bright, very excited to see new people, which is amazing considering what she's been through.
I think it's wonderful that Charlie was rescued, but that's just one pig, and there are still thousands and thousands locked away that we aren't seeing. They should have the same opportunities as my rescue dogs. They should be loved, they should be respected. We shouldn't need assurance schemes at all, because we shouldn't be consuming and using animals and prevent cruelty to them, which is of course the RSPCA's name.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the RSPCA stands for the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. But what they seem to be is essentially a stamp of approval to kind of make consumers feel more comfortable. How are you preventing cruelty to animals when you are putting your assured label on bodies of animals who were tortured, exploited, and killed? Not sure how that's preventing cruelty at all. In fact, it seems like it's doing the opposite.
Based on my experience of many years across hundreds of Britain's farms, there is no kind way to farm animals. There are growing calls for the RSPCA to drop its assured scheme.
They just need the courage. And I think for me, the biggest crime in the world is to have the ability to make the world less cruel and not use it.
So here it says, let the RSPCA know you want them to drop their farm assured scheme and lead the way to a plant-based future by emailing executive@rspca.org.uk. So they're calling for people to email them and let them know that that assured scheme should indeed be dropped. All in all, a pretty powerful short film, and what stuck out to me definitely was the part how Charlie is just one pig. One individual who has thankfully been saved and able to live out the rest of her life. But unfortunately, there's thousands upon thousands of animals who end up going to slaughterhouses, who end up in these farms, even the free-range farms, in terrible conditions. They end up being abused and they ultimately end up typically being gassed. We as Vegan FCA recently visited a slaughterhouse for pigs and saw them in their final moments before they were sent off to these gas chambers. And it's not just pigs, it's all of these other animals that we subject to commodification, torture, exploitation and killing. And when the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals isn't on the side of the animals, we know we're in deep trouble. Make sure to go and subscribe to For Charlie's YouTube channel. The link to the short film will be below in the description. Share it about because it's very powerful. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. Let us know what you think down below. And as always, don't forget to go vegan for the animals because they are who it means everything to.